Everyone able to see my screen, right? Online team. Okay. Can anyone confirm it whether you are able to see my screen or not? Okay. Yeah. Let's discuss what are the other functions we discuss it. So, uh, so a reset function we discuss up to reset function we discuss it, right? Okay. So today we need to discuss about the reset form. Okay. What reset form will do? Let's see here. Suppose, for example, suppose okay. See here. Suppose, for example, I'm taking a new screen. In this screen, I'm loading the data. Okay. Here. Suppose, for example, I'm taking a like edit form. Okay. So I'm taking edit form in the screen itself. Okay. And load the data. Like, and which columns you want, you can just need to take those columns. Agent name, customer number, first name, last name. That's it. And display layout is like this. Understand clearly? So this is how we can take this code. Okay. So in this one, what I'm taking, okay. So in this one, so I need to load whichever I'm selecting in the gallery. Okay. Those related data only I need to display here. For that, in under the form, we already discussed all these things. Okay. While we are discussing about the edit screen, I discussed all these things. Okay. So that means what I want to load is whichever I'm selecting from the browse screen, whichever value I'm selected, those related details only I need to show it in the in this particular form one. Okay. So for this one, what I'm under this particular advanced, see under the form one there is an advanced is there, under that there is an item is there. In this item, what is the gallery, see where what value you are selecting, where the value is selected, under the browse gallery one, right? So under the browse gallery one, whichever value is selected, those related details only we need to show it here. Okay, in this form one. So that under the item you have to write that one. That means browse gallery one dot selected. That means in that browse gallery, whichever value is selected, those related details only. See, whenever you are applying here, automatically the value are showing here. Not only this one, any value, not only this particular one, any value if you are selected here. Suppose I'm selecting Germany. So then go to the screen one, Germany related only you are selecting here, right? So that is, so in the form, okay, in the form, like either in most of the time in edit form. In the edit form, okay, that means this is the details. In edit form, I'm showing this is the result. Suppose in this edit form, if I modify all the elements, like suppose for example, let's play the application. Like see here, I'm modifying the values. Understand? Suppose for example, if I modify the values, okay, here like this, I'm modifying some of the elements in the form itself. Like this. I'm editing, I'm modifying some values in this form itself. After modifying some values in this form, suppose I don't want to modify it. Previously, how the value will be there? Those values, that means from the data source, what values are there previously, those values only I need to see. Whatever the new changes you did it, those are revert back. That means resetted. Resetted means, that means it back to the previous value. It will back to the previous value. If you, what is reset? Reset means it is back to the previous value. Whatever previous value is there, that only I want to show it here. Then, so in the last class, we discussed reset, how you can reset with a different element that we can see it. But here, today, we need to discuss the reset form. Reset form means in that particular form, what are all the elements are there? All the elements are resetted once at a time. Understand? So I want to do this one. Then you have to use an option. Then you have to use a function called reset form. What is that? Reset form. That means what reset form will do? Whenever you click on the reset form, whatever values you are changed, okay, whatever modifications you are doing here, it will back to the previous value. Previous value means previously how the values will be there, same as it is values will be shown here itself. Okay, that is what my target is. What? So for this one, I'm taking, see here, I'm taking, or else I'm taking a cancel icon. Okay. So whenever I click on this one, that means whatever previous values are there in each and every element in the form, that it will be revert back to the previous value. It will revert back to the previous value. That means what changes, newly changes you did it, those are not affected. What previous values are there, those only it will show. That means it will be resetted. The complete form will be resetted. For that, you have to use a function called reset form. What is that? Reset form. And reset form of, what is the form name? Which form you want to reset it? Form 1, right? That name you have to call it. That's it. Okay. Now run the application. See here. Click on this one. See, previously Andy campaign 123 is there, but I modify some values in this one. Okay. Whenever I click on this one, it will back to the whatever whichever elements you are modified, the complete values are revert back to the previous values. Understand or not? That it is called as a reset form. Okay. Then what is the difference between reset and reset form? That means reset form means in the reset form, what are all the elements are there? All the elements are resetted once at a time. All under that particular form, whatever elements are there, all the elements are resetted once at a time. Okay. But reset means, reset function means only one element only resetted, not multiple values. Understand or not? Okay. If you want to reset one particular element, then you have to use reset. If you want to reset complete form itself, then you have to use reset form function. You understand the difference between reset form and reset? Reset will reset the, that means reset means back to the previous value. It will reset only particular element. Reset form means it will complete form, it will be resetted. That means under the under that form, particular form, what are all the elements are there? All the elements are go back to the previous form. Understand? This is the main difference between reset and reset form. Understand clearly or not? This is how the reset form will do. Next one is write function. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Prabhati. Next one is write function. What write function will do? It will extract the, that means it will extract the characters from a string from the right side onwards. Left function is for from the left side, it will extract the characters. If you want to extract the character from right side, then you have to use write function. Let's see with example. Suppose I'm taking a data table. In that, I want to load some data. This way. Okay. And here, what columns you want, you can load those columns. Like suppose, for example, agent name, last name, something like this. Okay. If I load these related columns, see here, those values it is showing, right? Suppose, for example, in this, okay, in this table, there is an items property is there. In that item property, whatever table you are passing, all the table columns will come. Sounds right. If you want to add a new column, then you have to use a function called add columns. You already know that one, like add columns. Add columns of table name, comma. What is the column name? Right. I'm giving right. Column name is right. Okay. So comma, right function. I'm applying a right function. Okay. Right of, what is the column name? Suppose any column name, like first name is the column name. Okay. From that particular column, okay, how many number of characters you want, that number you need to give it here. Okay. Either always you have to give the positive values only. Understand? Greater than 0 values you can give it. Suppose I'm giving 3 here. What will happen from the first name? Okay, from the first name, see here, where is the first name is column is there? See here, this is the first name, right? From this first name column, like what value is there? Wiki is there. In this, I want to display, like see here, from 3 characters from the right side. Okay, in this, see here, from the right side onwards, okay, 3 characters means IKI. MERUNA, like that, those values it will be displayed here. Okay, so sometimes what will happen whenever you are applying this one, okay, immediately there is a, understand, like 1 second, okay. See the table it is showing here itself. Understand? 1 second. See, the table data is below that it will shows. Okay, here itself you can check it, or else if you want to directly add that particular column means you can click on add edit fields here, and under the edit fields, which columns you wanted, you can just add that particular column. Okay, see here, we got it. then that particular column is added into this particular data table. See, come to the right side, you will see the same values. That means whichever column you are passing inside that right function, from that column, from the right side onwards, how many number of characters you want, those many characters only it will be displayed from the right side. This is how you can do it. Is it clear or not? Understand? Next function. What is the next function? Round function. You already know it. Okay. Round function is very, very important. Suppose, for example, what is round function? Okay. Suppose, for example, these are the columns. These are the values. Suppose in a particular table, there is a column is there. In that column, these are the values are there. Okay. So suppose, for example, from this column up to first decimal place values only I want to display it. If I want to display up to first decimal or second decimal or third decimal or nth decimal, then that particular decimal place value will be rounded and it will show the result. Understand? Suppose, for example, first decimal place value rounded. First decimal place value round. First decimal place value. I want to round first decimal place. What is the first decimal place value here? See here. That means after point, whatever values are there, those are called as decimal place values. Okay. 4 is the first decimal. 5 is the second decimal. 6 is the third decimal. Like that, 1 after decimal, 1 digit, we can call it as 1 decimal point. Okay. Suppose, for example, I want to display up to first decimal place. Then what it will happen means, if I want to display up to first decimal place means, by default, Power Apps will round that particular first decimal place value and it will give the result. How it will be rounded? Based on the next value. If the next value is less than less than 5, if the next value, that means whichever value you want to round it, the next value, if it is there less than 5, then plus 0 need to be added. If it is greater than 4, plus 1 need to be added. This is what. Okay. That means, see here, this is the first example. In this, up to first decimal place, I want to display. That means what is the first decimal place here? 4 here. Okay. If I want to round that particular first decimal place value, based on the next value, it will be rounded. What is the next value here? Here it is 5. This 5, okay, that means this 5 value, is it, which condition is satisfied here? That means greater than 4 or less than 5? Greater than 4. Greater than 4 means plus 1 need to be added to the first decimal place. That means what is the value it is displaying? 3 point. After plus 1 is added, 4 plus 1, how much it is? 5. That is what it is displaying. Understand clearly or not? This is how it will be displayed. Understand? Same for other values. 2, 3, 4 point. Okay. What is the first value? 5 here. If I want to round the first value based on the next value, what is the next value here? 6 here. Is it 6 is greater than 4 or less than 5? Greater than 4. That means plus 1 need to be added. That means 234.5 plus 1, how much it is? 6 it is displaying. Understand? Here, like 23 point. What is the first value here? 4. Okay. What is the next value? 5. Is it, in which condition it is satisfied? Greater than 4 it is. That means 4 plus 1, how much it is? 5 it is. Like this. Understand? 21.1. Okay. Like this. 25.8. Right? Why 1 here? Why 1 here? Because see, first value I want to round it. What is the next value? 2. Is it less than 5, right? If it is less than 5 plus 0, that means 20 plus 1 plus 0, how much it is? 1 only. That means 21.1 only. Okay. Here 25.8 because next value is 8. That means it is greater than 4 itself. Plus 1 need to be added. That means 25.8. Suppose if I want to round the second decimal place means decimal place value. If I want to round the second decimal place means how the values. Don't check this one. You have to check these ones. Okay. If I want to round the second decimal place, what is that value? 3.4 as it is. Only second decimal place value only it will be rounded. Understand? What is the value here? 5 here. What is the next value? 6. Is it 6 is in which condition is satisfied? Greater than 4. Greater than 4 means plus 1 need to be added to the second decimal place value. That means 4, 6 it will be displayed. Understand? Next one is 234 point. Okay. 5 and what is the second decimal place value? 6 here. 6 means after 6, what is the next value? 7 it is. 7 means which condition is satisfied? Greater than 4. That means plus 1 need to be added. That means the plus 1 is added to the second decimal place value. That means 234.57 like this. Here 20.46. Okay. 21.12. 25.79. Understand clearly? Is it clear or not? Okay. Is it clear? Anyone having any doubts in this one? Like Prabhavati, Manaswini, anyone? Anyone having any doubts regarding? Because this rounding is very important. Rohit and Devarshi, everyone, anyone having any doubts in this one? Okay. Yeah. Suppose, for example, I want to round the last digit value. That means what is that means third decimal place value I want to round. Third decimal place value I want to round. Okay. If I want to round the third decimal place value, that means what is the third decimal place value here? 6 here. After 6, what value is there? Nothing is there. Then if the last digit, if I want to round it, okay, for last digit, what is the next value? Nothing is there. If it is not there, then you can treat it as a 0. The next value you can treat it as 0. That means here, like after 6, you can treat it as 0. After 7, treat it as 0. Like that. If it is a last digit you want to round it, the next value is automatically it will take it as a 0. Okay. If it is 0, then what value it will display? As it is, this column values will be displayed. There is no change in that one. Right? Is it clear or not? Okay, understand? This is how rounding will be calculated. Very, very important. Not only this particular skill, in any of the skill itself, rounding function is very important. Understand clearly or not? Understand clearly or not? This is how the rounding function will works. Okay, let's see with example. Suppose, for example, round, comma, you have to apply the function called round function. What is that? Round. Round off. What is the column name that you have to write it? Or else you can give the static value. Okay. Suppose, for example, I'm giving 345.567 like this. Okay. Which decimal place you want to round it? That number you need to give. Suppose I want to give the 1. Okay. Then what will happen? See here. See. In below this table, it will shows like. See here. Actually, it is 345 point first decimal place value. If it is first decimal place value means what is the next value here? 6 it is there. Okay. That 6 is greater than 4 only, right? Plus 1 need to be added. See, that's the reason 345.6 it will be displayed. Understand? Suppose, for example, okay, anything like 1, 2, 3. If I'm giving 1, 2, 3, then now see. If it is 1, 2, 3, then what value? What is the first place value? 345.1 only. Because after first decimal place value, what is the value? 2. That means it is less than 5 only, right? If it is less than 5, you have to add plus 0 like this. Understand clearly or not? See, I'm giving a static value here. Instead of that, you can give the column value also. You can give the column name, but I didn't have any decimal column is there. That's the reason I'm giving a static one. If you have a decimal related column, then you can try to apply the round function on that particular column. And you can give any number like 2, 3, 4 number. So whichever decimal place you want to round it, it based on the next value, it will be rounded. If the next value is less than 5, then plus 0 will be added. If it is next value is greater than 4, plus 1 need to be added to that one and display the result. Understand clearly or not? This is how it will be displayed. Understand clearly? This is about round function. Okay. Understand clearly or not? This is about the round function. Okay. Is it clear or not? Okay. This is. Next one is S category functions. Okay. In S category, there are so many functions are there. Listen one by one. Okay. The first function is set. Okay. 1 second. Next function is set. What is set will do? First of all, let me explain it. Okay. So that means, suppose for example, I want to filter the record from a table level. Okay. If I want to filter the records from the table level, then we have to use a function called set. Understand? Suppose for example, I want to know how many Power BI people are there. Or I want to know how many power-ups people are there. I want to know how many power like SQL records are there. That means from a table, if I want to see the particular records, okay, you want to set a particular value in that particular table, then we have to use a function called search. Understand? Search is very, very important in real time. Listen carefully. Okay. Suppose, for example, let's see with example. Take this particular new screen. And I'm taking here a data table. Okay. See here in this one, like see here in this particular table, there are different columns are there. Okay. Suppose I want to set a values. I want to set few column values. Okay. That means I want to set few column value records. I want to set it. Then automatically these table values are automatically it will be filtered. Let's see. Okay. So first of all, I'm taking a data table. In this, I'm loading it columns. And after that, you have to take a text input. Okay. See here in this text input. So just you don't want to give any default value for this text input. Okay. So I'm giving this one. Here, I'm entering value in this text box. Then automatically, whatever value I'm entering here, those related records I want to filter from this particular table. This is what my target is. Okay. Whatever value I am entering in this text, in this text box. So based on that, okay, those particular values are filtered in the below the table. This is what my targeted is. Okay. Let's see how you can do it. Okay. In this table, so after taking a text input, go to the data table, and that means you have to select the data table. In the data table, under the items there is an data source, right? So here you have to apply the search function. Okay. Search function. In the search, first you have to write the table name, comma, where you are entering the value in the text input. In this particular text box only you are entering, right? What is this text box name? Text input one. Like see here, text, that name you need to write. Text input one dot. Don't write only the name. Along with the name, extensions are also there. Those also you have to pass it. If it is a text box, text input dot text. If it is drop down, that means that particular drop down name dot selected, like that you have to write extensions also. Okay. So text here, that means in that particular text box, whatever you are entered, based on that, which column values I want to find it. Suppose, for example, those columns you need to pass it here. Any column, you can pass n number of columns. Suppose, for example, I'm passing a location column. Okay. Whenever you pass a location column, then what will happen here? Only the location related values only it will be filtered on the table. Suppose if you want to filter more than that column, then you can pass more than one column here. Suppose, for example, location as well as customer number. In any of these two column values, if I entered in this text box, then automatically those related values I need to display. Suppose, see here, let's run the application. Let's play the application. See here, in this one. See here, in this text box, either you can give customer number value or else you can give the location value. Okay, if in this text box, I'm giving Germany. See here, I'm typing GER. GER related only it is displaying. See here, not only location. If I type like customer number also, 10, I'm giving 10. See here, that means you can, if you are entering either customer number value or else you can enter the location value. If any of these two column values are entered in the text box, based on that, the table values are filtered. Not only these two columns, you can pass n number of columns there, and any of the column values, if you are typing in the such text box, then automatically those related values only it will display in that particular table. Understand clearly or not? This is search function. Very, very important function it is. Search is, okay. Search is very, very important. See here, the search function, don't write it in the text input. The search function, don't write it in the text, text, text one. Because whatever you are entering, those related values you need to filter in this table. That's the reason in the data table only you have to write the function search function. Okay. Search of, see here, search of, okay, table name, comma, where you are entering a values, that particular element name. What is the element name here? Text input one dot text. Understand? Comma. Which column values you want to enter into that particular text box? Those column names you need to enter. Those column names you need to give it there. Then automatically those related values only it will be displayed. Understand clearly or not? Okay. This is how the search function will be. Understand clearly or not? Okay. So this is about search function. Is everyone is clear? Very, very important in real time. If anyone is not understand, please let me know so that I can explain it again, once again. Razak, Archit, Chaudhary, anyone like Jyoti, Kalavati, Kundan, Manaswini, Piyush, Ravi Kumar, Rohit, Rupesh, Siva, Sumit Kumar, everyone. Okay, okay, okay. Next, we'll go to the next function. Okay, next function is set. What is set function will do? Set is nothing but if you want to assign the global variables. There are two. If you want to assign a variables, if you want to give the variables, okay, there are two types of variables. Okay, local variables and global variables. If it is a global variable, you have to use a function called set. What is a variable? That means it will hold the values, right? Variable is nothing but holding a value is called as variable. Okay. Holding a value is called as variable. Okay. There are two types of variables are there. Local variable and global variable. Local means that variable is valid up to that one screen only. Up to that particular screen only that variable is valid. But global variable it is access the variable in any of the screen itself. I think in the PDF preview is there, right? In there, I clearly show what is what is a global variable. Okay. So you can access that particular variable in any of the screen of that particular app. Okay. Global variables are starts with the function called set. Local variables are starts with the function called update context. That is the main difference between those. I will tell you what is local variable. Now we can discuss global variable. Global variables are applied in the function called set. Okay. See here. Let's discuss with few of the examples. Then you will understand what it is. Suppose, for example, okay. See here. How the global variables are setted. Let's see here. Okay. Suppose uh, there is a button is there. Take the button. What is this? Uh, like button. See in this button. Okay. So most of the times, whichever actions are performed on those related only, most of the times global variables are set. See here on the top, it will be there. You have to take down. See here. In this, suppose for example, set. You have to write set function here. Under the set, variable name, any name you can give it. You can give any name. Like there is no restriction like putting a name here. Suppose I'm reset like this. I'm giving the name like this. This is the name. Okay. This is the variable name. Okay. Comma. What value you need to assign to that particular variable? Okay. That value. Suppose, for example, I'm giving as value anything you can give. One here. See here. You can give the value here. One. Okay. Variable name, comma, and value. What value you need to assign to that particular variable? Either static value or else you can pass the column values also. See, understand? Anything you can pass it in that particular one, or else you can apply some functions and with that functions, what value it is getting with that value, it need to be stored in that variable. That is also you have to do. Understand clearly or not? See here, I'm setting a variable like this. This is a global variable because I'm using a set function. Set function is nothing but a global variable. That means whatever variable I'm in using in the set function, that variable can be accessed in any screen itself. Understand? See here. Now I want to take the data label, text label, sorry. So in the text label, in the text label. See, I need to call the variable name. What is the variable name? Like uh, arrays. Yeah, see here, reset element. That variable name I'm calling here. Okay. Yeah, why it is not showing? Dot. See here. Now run the button. Okay. See here. Click on this. What value it is showing? One value is showing. Understand or not? Not only this one. See, the same thing. I need to call it in another screen itself. See here. Here also, I'm taking one of the element, any element, like suppose text input element, text label. Right? In this, see here, what you need to call? You need to call that particular variable name. What is the variable name? Yeah, that's it. Here, see, automatically in this particular screen also, the value is showing. Suppose, for example, I run the application here, okay, and here I'm changing to something two value or else five value, okay. If I change, that means, see, here the by default the value is not showing because the action need to be must and should you need to perform it. How the action need to be performed? Alt plus click on this one, then you will see this one, value here, as well as in the screen one also the same value it is showing, five value. See here, five is showing not. That means whatever global variables are declared in one screen, you can access it from any screen itself. Understand? I already clearly explained PDF preview is there, right? Someone is asking one doubt. Can we access the preview of the PDF in another page itself? Is it possible? I showed you that one also. Okay. This is called as a global variable. Understand clearly? Okay. Next one, show columns. What is show columns will do? That means if you want to take the few of the columns, only few of the column from the existing table. From the existing table, if you want to show few of the columns, then you have to use show columns. Okay, let's see with example. See here. Here, see, in this particular data table, all the columns are shown here, but I don't want to show all the columns. Actually, table one, right? Okay. See, all the columns it is. No, I don't want to take all the columns from that particular. I want to show only few of the columns. Then you have to use show columns. See here, show columns of inside the brackets, table name, comma. Okay, which columns you wanted? Those column names. Only those columns only it will display. Suppose I want to display the agent name, comma. What is the another column? Customer. I want these two columns only. I want to show it in the data table. Then see. Okay. Now here in the add fields, remaining all are remove. Because it throws an error. Previously, I'm taking all the columns. Now I don't want all the columns. See here, in this particular table, only it will shows two columns only. Understand clearly or not? Okay. See here, when you click on add field, see, is there any column, other columns other than these agent name and customer number? No, you cannot add any other than these two columns. That means from the table, it will take whichever columns you want to show it. Those columns only it will take here. Remaining columns are hidden. Understand clearly? Show columns means in the name itself, you will understand what show columns will be. Okay, very important this function also in real time. Okay, next one, substitute. What is substitute function will do? Substitute means if you want to replace the part of the string, what is that? If you want to replace part of the string, then there are two functions are there. Either by using a replace function or else substitute function. But in replace, okay, from which position to which position you want to replace it, that replace will do. But substitute, wherever, that means in substitute, column name, old value, new value, you have to give it. That means in a particular cell, if the old value is multiple times it is repeating, those many times the values are replaced. Understand clearly? Let's see with example. Here and columns of, this is a table name. Okay, sometimes like this only we can write it. Okay, table name, this is the this complete one, you take it as a table. Okay, and here I'm writing a substitute, comma, substitute of function. Okay, what is the column name? Agent name is the column, comma. In the agent name, wherever old value, you have to give it old text. What is the old text here? That means I'm giving a space. That means in this agent name column, wherever space is there, in place of that one, new value will be replaced. What is the new value here? That you have to mention in the double quote. Suppose you are giving at the rate. Understand clearly or not? That means in the agent name, wherever spaces are there, in place of space, you want to replace it to at the rate. So this is how it will be. That means, so in this, in wherever spaces is there, in a particular single cell itself, there are three spaces are there. In all the three spaces, it will be replaced to at the rate. Understand? See, like this. Now see the result. If you want to add that column, new column is added, right? See here, but actually only one space is there. That's the reason one at the rate only replace. Understand? Very, very important functions, replace and substitute. Most of the times we have to use substitute. So in some cases, replace is used. In substitute, directly in place of this one, in place of this value will be replaced. But replace is not like that. That means from which part of the string to, from which position to which position. From which position to which position you want to replace it. First you have to give in, and after that you can replace the one. Understand clearly or not? This is how the substitute function will. Understand clearly? Okay. Next one is submit form. What is submit form will do? Okay. Submit form means, suppose whatever form values are there, directly it will submit that complete form values into the data source. Understand? Understand or not? That means in, see, submit form means only this function is applied for forms related. Okay, that means in a form, so if ever whatever values are there, suppose you are modifying them, some values, some element values you are modifying, those values is automatically saved to that particular data source. Okay, this submit form is related to data source related updation. Understand? Okay, let's see with example. So this is a very long concept, okay, that we can discuss in tomorrow's class. in tomorrow's class, like what is submit form, and what is sum function, what is second function, what is important function is sort by columns, what is sort by columns, what is sort function will do. Okay. And shuffle split. Tomorrow I will try to complete S category. And after that, T category, we need to discuss it. Okay. And after T, U is there. And view form W, Y. These are the functions. Once, okay, once it is completed as category, we will try to complete T1. Okay. Once T is completed, U, V, W, Y. All are one in one class itself, we can complete it. Once it is completed, once again, we need to review what are the important functions in Power Apps. Okay, once again, we can review all the things. Okay, because we are discussing more functions, right? All these functions are whichever half of the functions, more than half functions are discussing in the, if you know Power BI, okay, Power BI related one. So in those functions only here it is there. Okay, I will show you. Understand? And remaining some of the new functions are there. Those we can discuss it. Okay. So once it is completed, then we need to discuss. We need to create a blank canvas app. Okay. Up to now, we are discussing about the default canvas app. That means without taking any using default, by our own, we need to take our own elements, our own things, and we need to create a particular default canvas app and see how it will be there. Understand clearly or not? Okay, tomorrow we can discuss more. Tomorrow we'll try to complete S category. Understand? Anyone having any doubts? Prabhavati, Ajit Singh, Manaswini. Okay. Can we search with icons also? Yes, you can search it, right? Manaswini, like see here, under the insert, see here. When you come down, there is an icons elements is there, right? Icons. Expand this one. You can see there are n number of icons is there. Whichever icon you want, you can. Or else in the insert, in the search bar, you can type like whichever. Suppose for example, submit. If submit related is not there, validate. That means you have to search it with the different names. Validate, like uh, validate, not there. Submit, not there. And so, what is the name? So there are different names are there. With the different name, you have to search it. What is this name? Name of this one? Check. Okay. You have to type like a check for this one. Okay. Check. See here, check icon. There are different names are there. With that name, you can search it. Understand, Manashwini? Is it clear? Okay. So we can stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow.